Number two, the boundaries we set are there to protect our children. You know, for instance, a very common household rule, and being understood one is, we don't play with knives or we don't play with guns. We teach our children to respect guns, that they're not toys. That's for their protection. What if we never told them anything and we just left our guns and knives laying out on the table? Well, there'd be a lot of accidental killings in families. We set rules and boundaries when we go out in public. Don't talk to strangers. That's to keep our kids from getting kidnapped. Don't pet strange animals that you don't know. That's to keep them from being attacked. These rules are to protect them, not just because we as the parents are bored and want to bark out orders at them. So our rules are there. They're going to be there throughout their life. They need to learn to obey them now. They're there to protect, but they're also there to teach lessons. Important lessons such as good manners, respect, courtesy, hard work. All of these things are needed to be good citizens and good family members in our earthly families and in our spiritual family in the kingdom of God. So we have to help our children understand that there's a purpose for the boundaries and that we love them and we just have their best interest at heart. And then we need to practice tough love when it comes to enforcing the consequences. Man alive, I don't like spanking my kids. Now, if you heard them tell the story, they would tell you that that was where I derived most of my joy, was from disciplining them. But it's not true, because there are many times that I would cry later, or I would give them a second chance, or give them an option to the discipline that I had already said would be the consequence. And that's not always a good thing. Sometimes it's okay to show mercy. We need to, because that's how we teach them about God's grace and mercy. But we've also got to practice tough love and help them realize that there are consequences for bad behavior. And we will see even in the Bible that God brought about consequences for wrong behavior. And the fact that we have very few consequences today is evident in our failing justice system. A kid gets arrested today, and if they know someone in the police department, or a lawyer, or they got a relative who's a judge, or a friend of a parent, or something like that, they get off. And have to serve very little time, if any. And I could tell some stories from experience on that too, how partiality is shown, and these kids grow up to be adults nobody can stand and have the worst attitudes and then the most disrespectful. And actually, they derive joy from hurting other people. So our failing justice system proves that you get off on every little technicality, and these kids don't learn that there's consequences that really matter. They need to feel some type of suffering to deter them from wanting to do it again. Not enforcing the consequences are a major cause of our failing families. We use the term dysfunctional so loosely today, and I even joke about our dysfunctional family, which for the most part, most of us aren't. We just joke around and we have a good time, and sometimes there's some crazy stuff done. So, excuse me, we joke around about it, but there are a lot of families that would be deemed clinically dysfunctional. They can't interact with one another. They can barely look each other in the eye. Parents and kids not speaking for years. And you can't always control other people's choices, but we can control our own. And a lot of times, if parents would teach consequences at a young age, there wouldn't be near as many issues in the family and in society once these children are grown.